What if I told you there are 10 villages in Germany so beautiful they don't look real? No Photoshop, no filters, just 800-year-old villages that time forgot. I'm taking you to 10 fairy tale villages most travelers miss. And the number one spot? It's so perfect, even Germans can't believe it exists. This is number one, and you're about to see why. From the Black Forest to Bavaria, from wine country to medieval walls, these villages prove fairy tales are real. No tour buses, no crowds, just pure hidden magic. And stick around for number 3. Even Germans stop and stare at this one. So grab a pretzel, maybe a beer, and let's discover Germany's best-kept secrets. Number 10. Monschau. We start in the heart of the Eifel region, near the Belgian border, with Monschau, a village that looks like someone painted it by hand and then forgot to update it for 400 years. Monschau clings to the sides of the Ruhr River Valley, with narrow cobbled lanes twisting up the hillside. Half-timbered houses lean toward each other like old friends sharing secrets, and everywhere you look, there's ivy creeping up stone walls, flower boxes bursting with color, and little bridges arching over the rushing water below. The village got rich in the 18th century from textile manufacturing. Wool and cloth made here were famous across Europe. The Grand Rotes House, or Red House, still stands as proof of that wealth. Today you can tour its Baroque interiors and imagine what life was like when Monschau was a booming trade hub. But the real magic? Winter. When snow covers the rooftops and Christmas lights twinkle in every window, Monschau transforms into a living snow globe. The Christmas market here is intimate, authentic, and utterly enchanting. It's the kind of place where you realize Germany's fairy tales didn't come from imagination, they came from villages like this. Number 9. Freudenberg. If Monschau is a painting, Freudenberg is a perfectly arranged photograph. This tiny village in North Rhine-Westphalia is famous for one thing, the Alter Flecken, or Old Spot, a hillside covered in identical black and white half-timbered houses arranged in perfect symmetry. From a distance, it looks almost unreal, like a film set or a model village. But walk these streets and you'll find real families living in homes that have stood for centuries. The uniformity isn't an accident. After a devastating fire in 1666, the entire village was rebuilt following strict building codes. The result? One of the most photogenic villages in all of Germany. Locals are fiercely proud of their heritage. Every house is meticulously maintained, painted in the traditional black and white palette. There's even a viewpoint above the village where you can see the whole checkerboard pattern spread out below you. Absolutely worth the climb. It's small, it's quiet, and if you're looking for the Germany that exists in postcards and dreams, Freudenberg delivers.
Number 8. Quedlinburg. Now we head to Saxony-Anhalt for Quedlinburg, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that somehow remains under the radar despite having over 2,000 half-timbered houses, one of the largest collections in Germany. Quedlinburg isn't just pretty, it's historically significant. Founded over 1,000 years ago, it was once a favorite residence of German kings and emperors. The castle, perched on the hill above town, dates back to the 10th century, and its views over the medieval center are spectacular. Walking through Quedlinburg feels like time travel. Every corner reveals another perfectly preserved house, another narrow alley, another courtyard hidden behind an archway. The market square is the heart of town, surrounded by the Renaissance-era town hall and rows of timber-framed buildings, each one leaning slightly with age, but standing strong. What sets Quedlinburg apart is its authenticity. This isn't a tourist reconstruction. These are real homes, real businesses, real life happening in a 1,000-year-old setting. You'll find artisan workshops, cozy wine bars, and bakeries where they've been making the same bread recipes for generations. And if you're into gardens, the castle gardens offer terraced views that will take your breath away, especially in spring when everything blooms.
Number 7. Germany's wine country holds a special kind of magic, and nowhere is that more true than Bernkastel-Kues, a twin town straddling the Moselle River in Rhineland-Palatinate. Bernkastel-Kues has been making wine since Roman times. Yes, Roman. The The steep hillside vineyards surrounding the town produce some of Germany's finest Riesling, and the tradition runs deep. Walk the village streets, and every other building seems to be either a wine tavern, a cellar, or a half-timbered house decorated with grapevine motifs. The market square here is postcard perfect. Timber-framed houses with steeply pointed roofs crowd around a Renaissance fountain, and in the summer, outdoor cafes spill into the cobbled streets. It's the kind of place where you sit down for one glass of wine and somehow end up staying for 3. But the real charm is in the details. Narrow alleyways lead to hidden courtyards, ivy-covered archways open onto riverside promenades, and if you're feeling ambitious, hike up to Berg-Landshut, the ruined castle overlooking the town. The view over the Moselle Valley is worth every step. Bernkastel-Kues proves that fairy tales taste even better with a glass of Riesling in hand.
Number 6. Gengenbach. Deep in the Black Forest of Baden-Württemberg lies Gengenbach, a village so charming it's been used as a filming location for movies. You might recognize it from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where it doubled as a Bavarian village straight out of Roald Dahl's imagination. Gengenbach feels like it was designed by someone who really understood the word cozy. The town center is a maze of narrow lanes lined with colorful half-timbered houses, each one more photogenic than the last. Flower boxes hang from every window, fountains bubble in quiet squares, and the old town gates still stand, reminders of when this was a fortified medieval settlement. What makes Gengenbach truly special is how it changes with the seasons. In autumn, the surrounding Black Forest explodes in shades of gold and crimson, and the smell of roasted chestnuts fills the air. In winter, the town becomes a Christmas wonderland, literally. The town hall transforms into the world's largest Advent calendar, with a new window illuminated each night in December. It's small enough to explore in an afternoon, but charming enough that you'll want to stay for days. Wander the back streets, duck into a traditional bakery for Black Forest cake, and lose yourself in the kind of Germany most tourists never see. Number 5. Miltenberg. On the banks of the main river in Bavaria sits Miltenberg, a village with one of the most beautiful streets in all of Germany. Seriously, one street. But what a street it is! The Hauptstrasse, or Main Street, runs parallel to the river and is lined on both sides with half-timbered houses so perfectly preserved you'd think they were built yesterday. But these buildings date back to the 15th and 16th centuries. Each one is unique. Different colors, different carvings, different stories, but together they create a harmony that's almost musical. Miltenberg's history as a medieval trading town is written into its architecture. The old market square still has the original fountain and the Altes Rathaus, the old town hall, with its red sandstone facade and intricate timber detailing. And towering above the village is Miltenberg Castle, which gave the town its name. What I love about Miltenberg is its authenticity. Yes, tourists come here, but it's still a working town. You'll see locals going about their day, buying bread, chatting in cafes, living in these centuries-old homes as if it's the most normal thing in the world, which, for them, it is. And if you visit in autumn, the surrounding Spessart forest turns into a sea of gold and amber. Absolutely magical. Number 4. Schiltach. Back to the Black Forest for Schiltach, which looks like it was dropped into the landscape by a fairy godmother with impeccable taste. Schiltach sits at the meeting point of the Kinzig and Schiltach rivers, surrounded by dense forest and rolling hills. The town center is a masterpiece of timber frame architecture. The market square is dominated by the Renaissance town hall, painted in soft cream with dark timber beams and surrounded by equally beautiful houses, each one leaning slightly, each one perfectly imperfect. Schiltach made its fortune from rafting. Logs from the Black Forest were floated down the rivers to larger towns. Today, the Museum am Markt tells the story of this lost trade, with complete exhibits on traditional woodworking and tanning, another major industry here. But the real joy of Schiltach is simply wandering. Cross the stone bridges over the rivers, follow the narrow lanes that climb the hillside, stop at a cafe and order Schwarzwaldisch Kaschtorte, Black Forest cake, because you're literally in the Black Forest and it would be criminal not to.
In summer, the rivers sparkle in the sunlight. In winter, the whole village becomes a snow-dusted dream. Either way, Schiltach feels like a secret the Black Forest is keeping just for you. Number 3. Limburg under Lahn. Now we reach number 3, and trust me, this one will take your breath away. Limburg under Lahn in Hesse is dominated by one of the most striking cathedrals in Germany, the seven-towered Limburg Cathedral, perched dramatically on a rocky outcrop above the Lahn River. The cathedral's exterior is painted in vivid colors, red, white, and ochre, making it look almost Byzantine. It's been standing there since the 13th century, watching over the town below like a guardian. But the cathedral is just the beginning. The old town of Limburg is a maze of half-timbered houses so tightly packed you can practically touch both sides of the street with your arms outstretched. These aren't replicas. They're original medieval buildings, some dating back 700 years. The old Lahn Bridge, the old bridge across the river, offers the iconic view. The cathedral towering above, the colorful houses cascading down the hillside, and the river flowing peacefully below. It's the kind of view that makes you stop and just stare. Limburg isn't just beautiful, it's alive. Markets fill the squares, students from the local university bring energy to the streets, and traditional restaurants serve Hessian specialties that have been perfected over generations. If you want a village that combines jaw-dropping beauty with real lived-in authenticity, Limburg under Lahn is it. Number 2. Dinkelsbühl. We're almost at number 1, but first let's talk about Dinkelsbühl, which might be the most perfectly preserved medieval town in Germany. Dinkelsbühl is enclosed by its original medieval walls, complete with towers and gates. Walking through these gates feels like crossing into another century. The town was miraculously spared during the 30 Years' War and again during World War II, leaving its medieval core completely intact. The houses here are painted in soft pastels, salmon pink, butter yellow, mint green, all with dark timber frames creating that classic fairy tale look. The Vine Market, or Wine Market Square, is the heart of town, surrounded by gabled houses and anchored by St. George's Minster, a stunning Gothic church with soaring spires. Every July, Dinkelsbühl holds the Kindertschech Festival, celebrating the legend of children who saved the town from destruction during the war. Locals dress in historical costume, parades fill the streets, and for 10 days, the town becomes a living medieval festival. But even without the festival, Dinkelsbühl enchants. Walk the ramparts at sunset, explore the quiet back streets, find a cafe, and watch the world slow down. This is Germany at its most magical. And finally, we reach number 1, Rothenburg ob der Tauber, the village that defines the German fairy tale. Rothenburg is the crown jewel of the Romantic Road, a medieval town so perfectly preserved it's almost surreal. Encircled by intact town walls you can walk along, filled with half-timbered houses painted in every warm color imaginable, Rothenburg looks exactly like the Germany of your dreams. The Marktplatz is the centerpiece, a grand square dominated by the Gothic town hall, with its viewing tower offering panoramic views over the Tauber Valley. Surrounding it are guild houses, merchants' homes, and the iconic Ratstrinkstube with its mechanical clock. But Rothenburg's magic is in the details. The Plone Line, a tiny triangular intersection with a yellow half-timbered house and 2 medieval towers, is one of the most photographed spots in Germany. The Christmas Village shop stays open year-round because why should magic be seasonal? And the Schneebeln, snowball pastries, are a local specialty you have to try. Yes, Rothenburg gets tourists, but come early in the morning or late in the evening, and you'll find quiet streets, golden light, and a sense that you have truly stepped into a storybook. Climb the walls at dawn, wander the gardens below the ramparts, get lost in the back streets where tour groups never go, and you'll discover why Rothenburg isn't just a village, it's a feeling. A reminder that fairy tales are real. You just have to know where to find them. So there you have it, 10 fairy tale villages in Germany that prove magic still exists in the modern world. From the Black Forest to Bavaria, from wine country to medieval walled towns, Germany's hidden villages are waiting to be discovered. Which village would you visit first? Are you a Rothenburg romantic or more of a Schiltach soul? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love this journey through Germany's hidden gems, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Because the best stories aren't in the guidebook, they're waiting beyond the guidebook.